I'm dumb. I know nothing about real estate. And this is Ryan Pineda. He's a multi-millionaire real estate investor, and he's gonna teach me step by step how he went from being broke to running a multi-million-dollar business in very short period of time.
I'm Ryan Pineda. I'm a multi-millionaire real estate investor, and today we are talking real estate.
Yes. So tell me, I don't know anything about real estate. I'm from another country. Teach me how to do it from start to finish, how I can make money through real estate.
Oh man, dude, that's a broad question. There's lots of ways to make money in real estate. You could be a realtor and, help people buy and sell houses. That's how a lot of people start. You could be an investor, and that's what I do. So if you're an investor, there's many ways to make money. You could flip houses, buy it, fix it up, resell it.
Okay.
You could have rental properties. I buy a house, I find a tenant, rent it out to them, make money. Or I could do what's called wholesaling, which is really cool, where you kind of flip houses, but you don't have to buy them. Instead of having to buy it and fix it up, all you do is get a good house under contract for a good price, and then you sell the contract to somebody else who will buy the house.
Explain me again the last part.
Yep. So the best way to explain it is I find a really good deal, right? And let's say it's a house that's $300,000. It's worth $400,000, right? And I go, hey, Fidias, will you buy this house for $320,000? And you say, yeah, that's a good deal. It's worth $400,000. And so instead of me buying it to sell it to you, I just sell you my contract to buy the house. So I sell you the contract for $20,000 because that's the difference between what you'll pay, what I have it under. And then you get paid, or I get paid the $20,000 and you get the house for $320,000.
You need a license or something to do this thing? No? So, but for the realtor, you need a license.
Yep. Realtors need license.
And for example, I can't do it, that I'm a foreigner and I have a talent visa here, or anybody, you have to be a United States citizen to do it?
I know that there are foreigners who they pay tax and all that. So as long as you're paying taxes, I'm sure you can do it.
Okay. So this is how you started your career?
I actually started as a realtor in 2010. I started as a realtor. Then I went to flipping houses.
So you started as a realtor. How old you were?
21.
21.
Yeah.
And this is how you built it, all these communication skills and all this stuff through the real estate career?
No, I actually was a very bad realtor. I wasn't good at it. I didn't like it. And I started getting into side hustles, right? So one of the big side hustles I got into was flipping couches. Okay. So I would buy these couches on Craigslist, fix them up, clean them, then resell them. And so I think I got good at communicating by negotiating so many deals.
About the couches,
yeah.
Not about so you didn't make a lot of money by being a realtor?
No, I didn't. I sucked.
So you pivot and you started something else, and then how tell me a bit your story, how with real estate, how it evolved, and when you got back because you said you sucked and you did another thing.
Yep. So in 2010, I became a realtor. I was also playing baseball too. So I played pro baseball. So I was being a realtor, playing baseball. Baseball was my focus. I didn't really care about being a realtor, but I'd sell a house here or there, but it wasn't a lot of money. So after a couple of years...
what state?
In Vegas.
In Vegas. You started in Vegas.
Yep, Nevada. So I ended up quitting after a couple of years, and I started doing side hustles. So like I said, the couch flipping was...
Because it was not enough money, you didn't like it?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I didn't like taking clients to houses and stuff.
So this is how it's happening. Like you find people, how you find the people to take them to houses, like how you find them?
That's the hard part. I wasn't good at it because you have to do really good marketing,
And how people do general marketing on that when they're real?
Well, when I started in 2010, there wasn't like social media like it is today, right? I was running newspaper ads. Okay. I was posting stuff on Craigslist. Like that was the only way I knew how. But today, social media would be the biggest way.
Like, explain me, if you are now starting out as a realtor, what you are going to be doing?
Okay, so if I was a realtor, I would create content around, the houses I want to sell. So I would tour the houses. I would make videos
like Enes Yilvares.
Just like Enes. Yep, Enes is a good friend of mine. So I would tour the houses. I would do videos talking about the market. I would do videos talking about how to buy a house, how to get a loan, and educate my audience on how to do it so they use me as a realtor.
Let me push back a bit on that, because I was interviewing Graham for the previous podcast, and he said that he didn't make any deal through YouTube, and he was a realtor and doing YouTube, and like all the deals were shit, and all the deals were like, maybe he didn't know how to do it the right way, but like, what do you think about his experience? That he is a huge YouTuber,
yeah,
and he said that you cannot. He got a lot better deals in other ways than to YouTube.
Because Graham's YouTube channel isn't around being a realtor. It's about saving money, and he doesn't ever promote being a realtor. So I'm saying you would be like Enes, where it's like, hey, this is a house. This is all I do. I'm a realtor. I want to help you, come work for me. Or not work for me, but let me work for you.
That's Enes when he does it. By the way, Enes is a YouTuber that just tours houses, and he makes like these mansions and like tour houses. So does Enes how he makes his money? By selling houses, by renting them, or just YouTube?
Just YouTube. Enes he's not even a realtor anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe YouTube is a better business.
YouTube is a better business. If you're good. But Ryan Serhant?
Yes.
Yep. So, I mean, he's a YouTuber, but he makes his money being a realtor. His YouTube is perfect. It shows that, hey, I got this listing. I'm really good as a realtor. Hire me. And so people do.
Okay. So it's important to establish not a brand about like whatever YouTuber like me doing stupid videos. It's important to establish a brand about real estate. And
being a realtor.
So you cannot do like whatever social media brand and try to sell.
You can't be doing pranks and challenges and then try to sell. Yeah. It's not going to work.
It's important. And that's one thing that the people should think about, like what their end goal on YouTube is and what they want to do long term for them to start doing content around that and not something else just to get views.
Yes.
Which is
you need the right people watching if you're in business. So like, I don't have as many subscribers as you or Graham, but the people who watch me will give me more money than you or Graham.
Yes. And that's interesting. I want to ask you a question about that because, for example, I did merch and I sold like only 15 t-shirts and I have like almost a lot of subscribers. So that I wanted to get into all this stuff later, like how you convert, like you're describing that you make a lot of your money through social media in indirect ways and all this stuff, which is really interesting to me. But so you stopped being a realtor because you didn't like the concept and you didn't make enough money, but now you are back in real estate as an investor. Can you explain me? That's a whole different concept. And
Yep. So in 2015, I started flipping houses. So I didn't have a lot of money. I'd saved up some money from the side hustles and everything, but I still needed more money to go flip. So I ended up maxing out my credit cards to buy my first house flip.
How does that look? Maxing out the credit card?
So, you have a credit card, right?
Yes, I'm not very familiar with all this credit card stuff.
Okay, so
I'm 22 just started.
You're only 22?
Yeah.
Wow. So basically, I applied for a lot of credit cards, right? Because I didn't have money. And they gave me about $50,000 worth of credit. Okay. And so I said, okay, I want it all.
Okay. So you applied for a lot of credit. It's not only one credit card that
I had
gave
multiple
you.
Credit cards, yeah.
Okay. So all together, they gave you 50,000.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Me and my wife together. We both applied.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. So I ended up getting these credit cards. I maxed them out, meaning I take all the $50,000. And then I use that money as a down payment to buy my first flip, and I got another loan with the house and thankfully, we fixed it up.
How much was
the first house I bought was like $135,000. Okay. And then the second one I bought was like $97,000.
But because you had all this realtor experience, you understood what is a good value, you understood what is a good house.
Yes.
And that's why you went all in with all your
Yeah,
money.
I understood what I was doing.
So, yeah, and how it evolved through that? You got your first one?
Yep, that first flip made $25,000. So,
oh, you flipped it immediately?
Well, I mean, I fixed it up and a few months later we flipped it.
Okay.
Yep.
How much you made?
25,000.
Okay.
Yep. And then, that year I bought 5 houses. Okay. The second year I evolved, I bought 20. Then
what? How many houses you bought?
20.
The first year, how many?
5.
5.
Yep.
So with that 25,000, you did the same thing again for other houses.
Yes.
And you max your credit cards again.
Yes.
And then they gave you more, right?
Because I took all my profit and I kept putting them into more houses.
Okay.
So I went 5.
At that time you were saving money and like you were.
Yeah, I wasn't spending anything.
So you were very
frugal, careful. I just took every dollar I made.
Did you have a kid back then?
No. just married.
Okay.
We were young. I was 25. My wife was 22.
When did you get married? At what age?
When I was 24.
Okay.
I've been married 9 years.
Interesting.
So
more questions about that later because I'm curious if you can have a healthy marriage with this.
Yeah, that's what the wealthy way is about.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, just trying to have more balance in business. So yeah, I ended up taking the 5 that I flipped, took all the profits, put them into more deals. And so.
And you were like, how you were going and fixing the house, you were paying people,
paying people.
You were finding like couches like this and putting in the house for you to have less, like how, elaborate a bit
so I would
this.
buy a house vacant, nothing in it. Well, sometimes they'd have stuff, but we get rid of it. We would fix it up, make it look nice, new floors, new kitchens, everything. I didn't do the fixing. I would hire a contractor. They would fix it. All I did was I just looked for deals. I just looked for good deals. And whenever I saw a good deal, I'd buy it. And so I did, like I said, 5, then 20 the next year, then 50 the year after that.
But how you scaled to that big number? You did all of this stuff by yourself. But by the way, this is so interesting for me. I love it.
Yeah.
This is
so the first 2 years, it was by myself.
So you go find contractors to fix it. You go find the houses.
Find the deals.
The good deal. Where did you find those deals? Like
mainly on market.
On market, what does that mean?
If you were to go just look on Zillow or any of these places, just houses right there that I saw were good deals.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's not like you go in neighborhoods. It's like online. You search in the market.
Online, mainly online. I also got deals by networking. So I would go meet people, realtors who were in the industry.
That was important for you back in the beginning, the networking?
Very important because they brought me deals.
How important is networking in this real estate?
Huge, super important. If you don't network, you're costing yourself a lot of money. Yeah, you got to meet people.
And okay, so how do you network in this space? Like, tell me how, because you seem, I'm not that good at networking. Like, I prefer, to work on my videos, just do my thing. And I'm not that good in those things, but you seem that you mastered this field of networking. You do masterminds and explain me how this networking helped you in the beginning to get into this stuff.
So I would go to real estate events that other people were holding, right? Like meetups. And I would just attend it as an attendee. And then I would just try to talk to people. Hey, what do you do? Oh, you flip houses? I flip houses too. How could we work together? Oh, you're a realtor?
Here in Vegas.
Yeah, here in Vegas. You're a realtor?
And do you get
any deals?
You found very important for you to be networking here in Vegas because you wanted to build your network here in Vegas.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Continue.
Yep. Yeah, so I just went to a lot of events. At the time, Facebook, there was no Instagram or TikTok. YouTube wasn't that big.
How old are you now?
33.
Wow. Yeah, okay.
So Facebook was how I networked too. I would look up all the realtors in Las Vegas. I'd friend request and then send them a DM.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that evolved to bigger networking. Now having your brand is easier a lot to network.
Yeah.
And you have already your foot in the door because the people already know you and stuff. So.
Yeah, a lot easier today because people now come to me.
Okay, interesting. Move back to the story that you were saying, how you're becoming, like you said, you scaled to 20 houses per year, and then how did it evolve through that?
Yeah, and then the next year I did 50, and I hired one person. So my one person ended up doing the things I didn't want to do. So he would go manage the contractors and manage the flips and list them. All I did at that point was find more deals and raise money because I needed more money to do more deals.
How did you raise money?
Just talking to friends and family. So, mainly just friends.
Family and friends, like, and you were saying, there is these houses that I want to buy.
Yeah.
This is what I did in the past. This is how it worked. Can you give me like how much money, whatever? And like, you're going to get extra sum with the flip and all these types of things. And you had already rich friends because you were in that.
Not really. I mean, at that time, I didn't have many rich friends. I had one guy who believed in me and he started investing with me. So he gave me like $200,000 on the first deal, right? And then he gave me $500,000 as I gave him his money back and we did good. And then he gave me $1 million because he kept getting his money back and we were making good, we were doing good. Then he told me about his friends and he said, hey, this person would like to invest with you. This person would. And so he helped me grow.
And because you built trust with him. So I find this interesting because sometimes you don't need to go to 1 million people to network. You need to focus on 2, 3, 4 relationships that they really bring value. And that's what network is. Not just, there is 20 people, I'll go and talk with them and maybe we'll do some business.
Yeah, because think about it. If you meet me, right? And I'm like, I trust Fidias. How many people do I know that trust me? And I say, hey, let's invest with Fidias. I like what he's doing. Like I would have all these people who would invest. Like it'd be easier to find one of me versus 10 random people.
Okay, so this is how you scale to 50 houses.
Yeah,
with help for other friends but the same concept, flipping houses. But now you delegate it to one person to do the dirty work.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the next year we did 150.
Okay, what is the revenue that we're talking net on that 150?
So that year we did $2 million.
$2 million profit.
Yeah.
Okay, but total like probably is like.
I mean, with house flipping, revenue is different because if you look at a tax return, you sell a house for $500,000, right? That's $500,000 in revenue. If we sold 100 houses at, call it $300,000, that's $30 million of revenue.
How taxes work in this space? That's very interesting.
I'd be taxed on the $2 million.
So
profit.
You'll be taxed on the profit. And here in Las Vegas, how much?
Las Vegas has 0 state income tax, but then we still pay federal tax.
Which is how much? 20? How much?
It scales as you get more money, but the highest bracket is like 37% or something.
37. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and this is you did 50, 150, and how it evolved to a company, how it evolved to this that you have right now, and what you are doing currently in this market now.
Yeah, so ever since then, that was in 2018 that we first flipped over 100, and ever since then we've been flipping near 100. And, we have the company now. We have multiple employees. We have, project managers, people who only do construction. We have salespeople.
So you have the people now that doesn't do construction. You don't go and like look for them.
Well, we still look for people, but like I have one person, 2 people that work for me, and their job is to go find all those people that will go fix the house, right? So we have those people. We have salespeople. They're just talking to sellers and realtors and trying to get deals all day. Then I have a COO. This would be my operator, and he oversees everybody to make sure we're doing what we need to do. We've got admin.
How many people now are working to your real estate?
In the house flipping business by itself, probably 10 to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there is a person overseeing everyone. There is two people that do the work, construction and stuff to houses to fix them, and like explain what the other people are doing. So at this point, you don't do anything.
Not really, no.
On that company, so it runs by itself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So you have the two people, project managers. They're just making sure the houses get fixed up. We have probably 6 salespeople. So they're just talking to sellers, trying to get deals, all that. We've got 1 admin.
To find people to buy the houses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. We have 1 admin who handles paperwork.
Okay.
Assistant, basically. We have 1 marketing manager. He handles all of our marketing. We do TV commercials. We do mail, cold call.
What's the most effective?
For us right now, TV.
TV?
Yeah, I have TV commercials.
Oh, really? It's the most effective way, TV?
For us. It's not for everybody, but for us.
But you tried a lot of things like ads, like...
Yeah, we've done everything. Yeah.
But the most effective way is TV.
For us, yeah.
That's interesting.
Most people know. So, we have a marketing person. We also have somebody that sells our deals because we also wholesale, like I told you before. So if there's a deal where we can just sell it to you really fast and make money, we do that too.
Okay. So it's not only flipping houses. Yeah. So you have flipping houses, you have this wholesale that you said, and also you buying property and you are renting, or tell me about this as well.
So I have 2 different things with rentals. One is my own portfolio and my single family homes, meaning just normal houses, right? So I buy those just like I find flips.
It's not in the companies, you're doing personal.
Yep. So the company would find a deal and I would say, hey, I like that deal. I want to keep it. So I'll buy it from the company.
Okay.
Right? So I buy it and I keep it for my own personal rental portfolio. The other way we do it is through my company, Pineda Capital. So Pineda Capital is a fund. It's a syndication. And so we raise money from people on social media and we go buy big apartment buildings. So we've bought 530 apartment units in the last year.
Well, how does that work? How people, that's interesting. How people invest, like with what platform? How do you find those people?
Yep. So,
this is pure knowledge.
So here's this is how it works. We get a deal. Okay. So our most recent deal, we bought it like 2 weeks ago. It's in Iowa, 81 units apartment building. We needed to raise $2.5 million, to cover the down payment for the property. The all-in of the property was like, I don't remember the number off the top of my head, like $7 million. Okay. So we needed to raise $2.5 million. So what I do is I go on social media and I say, hey, here's the apartment we're buying.
On your personal social media.
Here's the apartment we're buying. Here's the numbers of what it looks like. We think it's going to be worth, $10 million, $11 million when we're done. Do you want to invest? Right. And then people go to my website, pinedacapital.com, and they apply to invest. And if
they apply to invest, what do you mean they apply to invest?
Because we can only take accredited investors. So an accredited investor is somebody who makes somebody who's either a millionaire or they've made $200,000 the last 2 years in a row. So if they've made that or they're a millionaire, they can invest with me. If they don't, they can't invest.
Okay. So you only take big cash from there. It's not like someone can pay $10.
No. And it's not my rules. It's the government. That's the rules.
And what they get like a 0.3% of the unit. How does that work?
Yeah. So the way it works is we go and raise the $2.5 million, right? So that's what we did. We raised it from social media. We then use their money.
But you said it's for the down payment. It's not for the whole, how much it costs the whole thing.
Yeah, just the down payment.
But how much it costs the whole thing?
The whole thing, that particular deal was around, I can't remember the total, but like $7 million, right? So we raise the money, we buy it, and they get a percentage of the entire deal based on how much they put in, right? So a guy who puts in 500,000 is different than 50,000.
Okay, they get a percentage. So they have a pool of all these people and they share a percentage all together.
Yes.
Of the thing. And how they get paid like in the future is like they can lose all their money. Like how does this like?
Yeah, so they get paid two ways. One is monthly, right? So every month the property makes money from the rent and everything
And you
else.
handle all this stuff.
Yeah, we handle everything.
And they were putting the capital. Okay.
Yep, passive. So if we make enough money we pay once a quarter. So that quarter we would give them interest plus any kind of profit. Okay. So I want to say the interest on that deal is like 7 to 8%. Okay. So that's the interest plus we split profit together. So, once it's good and we fixed it up and it's rented, they might make 10% a month. Okay. The other way they get paid is in the future, like you said, if we sell the building or we decide to refinance the building and get their money out. If we sell the building, we then will split profits and they get a big payday.
Okay. So but for the most part, so now it's not all the business depends on Raya Pineda, Pineda brand. Is you have like, if you stop doing social media and you delete all your pages, like their company will be still running and finding all this. Explain me how valuable is your brand through?
My brand is very valuable because it gets new people into the companies, right? So if I want to go sell or if I want to go raise money, I know that I have to make videos to raise money. We have all the investors already in our database. And so we can still talk to them directly and say, hey, do you want to invest in this new deal? But I always want to get more investors, right?
So for you to grow, you need to continue your brand.
Yes.
It's not like it's a separate company that...
Yeah, I mean, they're always connected to me some way. We have another company called Future Flipper where we teach people how to invest in real estate, how to fix and flip, wholesale, buy rentals. And so, we make a lot of money in education and many of them buy because they see my content and they say, oh, I want to learn from Ryan. And so they go in.
So like, how is it to be teaching this topic? Is it easy for people to go and do it? Is it like, it requires a lot of work? Like,
it's a lot of work, man. I don't tell anyone it's easy. It's a lot of work.
And how many people now do you teach? And like,
we've had thousands of students.
And how they get access? Like they pay monthly, they pay one-time fee. It's like a mastermind. How it's structured?
Yeah, we have multiple different levels. We do payment plans. We do one-time pay. It depends. Like, so this month we have an event. It's September 26th to 28th here in Las Vegas on the Strip. It's going to be great. There's going to be like 600 people there. So,
and all coming because of Ryan Pineda brand.
Well, me and all the speakers too. There's a lot of...
You put it together.
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Okay.
my event.
Interest.
So we have a lot of big speakers and so everybody will come to that event. After that event, they can still continue in coaching if they want, if they really like what they got from the event, and that's cool. And so we have 2 coaching programs. We have one for beginners called The Rookie.
So it's interesting because you created so many streams of income from one business, which is the real estate market. And like you have like probably 20 ways to make money in this market, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. But yeah, I mean, most of my businesses started from house flipping, the success, you saw the office. We have another office upstairs. Like, they all started because I was good at house flipping. We then raised money to buy apartments. We started teaching people how to flip houses. I have a tax company now.
Not good at you're at Realtor. You are good at house flip.
Yes, I was good
so
investor.
You found something that you were actually good at. You tried.
Yeah, I was a bad realtor.
Okay, interesting. Continue what you were saying.
Yeah, so, I just looked at what people kept asking me for. And so people would say, who's your accountant? We need CPA work. And so I started an accounting company. So I have a company called TrueBooks that's just all accounting. Then, people asked for all these other things. And so we've continued to just create companies that, the people that work with me already ask for.
How is this to find the right people in this industry, and how your brand is leveraged to find the right people? Like, are you putting like, oh, we're hiring on Instagram and whatever this platform, you found that successful? How is it to find the right people in this industry?
Hiring is the hardest part, getting good people, even in YouTube, getting a good editor,
especially in YouTube. Nobody knows YouTube.
No one knows.
Very few people dedicated 5 years of their life because it's very new industry.
Yeah, people are figuring it out, and YouTube changes the algorithm. It's always changing. So, yeah, I'll make a post and say...
No, it's not always changing. YouTube is simple. People need to click and people need to watch the whole video. That's it. So, yeah. Continue.
Well, it's like real estate. You need to just buy it cheap and sell it high. But it's hard.
Yeah.
So...
it's not simple to do that in YouTube. Like, it's a whole art to make a YouTube
The concept is simple.
Yeah.
Get them to click, watch the whole thing. You'll win. But how do you get them to watch? How do you get them to click?
Yes.
So, I think getting good employees is the hard part. So what I do is I get on social media. I'll make a job ad. Hey, hiring sales guys. Hey, hiring an editor, right? And then people apply. And then
it's all through social media.
For the most part. Sometimes we'll post job ads on like LinkedIn or something, or ZipRecruiter. And
did you find who is the most? What is the most effective way to hire?
Social media.
Social media.
Yeah, because they already follow you.
Yeah, I found that. I think it's a cheat code. Honestly,
it is the cheat code.
I found I put a community post on YouTube. We are hiring a thumbnail maker. This is a competition. The best person will get hired, and they do a thumbnail for a video. And like the winner was a 16-year-old kid from Israel.
Wow!
And it's out of 500 thumbnails he won, and he's an expert. So it is what it is, and it's an amazing cheat code to get the best people in the world to work for you when you have and it's even Elon Musk is doing it. When he starts a company, he goes live stream on, we're starting Neuralink. This is what we're doing. This is why you should.
Elon Musk is the same, right? Tesla could run without Elon Musk. Neuralink could run, but Elon makes it that much better because he is, the personal brand.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I was talking more on the way that he's hiring.
Oh, yeah.
Is the same way that we do.
We do the same thing.
He just do a live stream. This is the why you should get here. And it's the same thing. Anyway, continue on finding people.
Yeah, so, they would apply, and then I have HR, our human resource department. They interview all the candidates, resumes, everything, and they do all the hiring. I don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they are bad, you fired them.
You want to know a good saying? Have you ever heard this? Slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yes.
That's what you have to do.
I need to become better because I had not a lot of experiences, but when you keep a person too long, it's you're investing so much of your time there.
Money, you're paying them.
When when you know that you don't want him, immediately
get rid of them. Yep.
So do you think this market of real estate can make you a billionaire in the future?
Man, there are many billionaire real estate investors. If I had to guess, would real estate make me a billionaire? No, I would guess it would be a different company. It would be tech. I don't think that it would be from real estate, but who knows?
Interesting. So there is for example, Grant Cardone and all these people that they are doing it.
Yep.
How did they scale? Grant Cardone is, let's say, one of the biggest people in this.
Yep, he's
market.
A billionaire.
So how did he scale with real estate to become a billionaire?
Yeah,
the same way that you did it.
Yeah, so I was with Grant Cardone 3 weeks ago at his office, and he was showing me everything he was doing. And
why he was doing that?
Why was he showing me?
Yeah.
He invited me and some other people to the office because he wanted to, build relationship networking. That's what he was doing. He's trying to build relationships with other
other people that they are
and,
doing big things in his industry.
Because he wants to partner up and do things.
Interesting.
Even him, a guy who's already a billionaire, still wants to network and partner.
Interesting.
So no, he was great. I really enjoyed getting to know him and hang out. But the reason he's a billionaire is not necessarily from real estate. He has, he's managing billions of dollars of real estate, but majority of it's not his. It's his investors. His investors own the majority of it. The reason Cardone is a billionaire is because of his other businesses. Everything he does with his 10X company, the events, the education.
So it's not the real estate itself. It's the business that they're building.
The businesses are more valuable for him than the real estate he owns.
So how does, for example, I'm familiar with Ray Dalio, that he has a fund and people can invest the hedge fund. And he has a company, Bridgewater, that has investors, and is the same way in a way that he does.
Yeah, I mean, so Ray Dalio and a lot of these guys, they raise money in their fund, and then for him, he buys businesses, stocks, those things. Grant raises his fund, he buys real estate. Other people raise a fund.
And an investor invest, okay, I want to have 5% of my portfolio in real estate. I will give it to Grant Cardone.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Or they can say...
And how Grant Cardone is making money on that fund?
The same way I make money. So you get an acquisition fee when you buy a property. So that goes to my company for finding the deal and going through the process and everything. We get a fee. We also get a yearly management fee for managing the property.
Explain me again, because I'm stupid.
So we get an acquisition fee.
That was an awkward laugh for you.
Yeah. So if we buy it, we get an acquisition fee. It's similar to a realtor commission, right? For finding the deal and putting it together. And then every year you get a management fee for managing the deal, taking it through all that stuff. And then when you sell, you get, what's called a disposition fee for selling it, plus any profits that you guys made together.
Okay, so it's not, if you are managing 10 billion on real estate, you are not going to make 1 billion. It's like you're going to make probably 100 million.
Well, no, not even. I mean, a management fee on a lot of companies is 1%.
Interesting.
So if you manage $1 billion, you'll make 10 million.
That's why his other companies are more valuable.
Yeah, because he makes way more.
You started building so many companies around that, because those companies at the end of the day can become a lot more valuable than the company itself. So tell me a bit about the education business, because I hear what is his name, Tony Robbins, that he talks. There's going to be a multi-billion-dollar the industry, the education, and the education is fuck universities and all this stuff, and this is the new way of education. Influencers teaching what they are good at, and welcome me the future of education in the real estate market.
Yeah, I think education is going to be big. Because think about it. Nobody wants to go to college anymore. They would rather be a YouTuber. They would rather be a real estate investor, because they know they could do it right now. They don't need to go to college. And a real estate investor and a YouTuber makes way more money than the $70,000 a year job you get from college.
It's crazy.
And the college is also going to take you 4 years. You're going to go into debt, and you're not even guaranteed a job when you're done. So I think college will continue to get lower and lower and lower. And all of these young people like you will come to whoever they want to learn from. You went to go learn from Eric and Mr. Beast because they're the best. And so you learn from them and do that. I learned from really good real estate investors, from Grant Cardone, I'm like, hey, Grant, how do you do it? Right? I will pay you. Just tell me how to do it. So I think that's going to be how people learn, and it's better.
And you find, so you are trying to, that it's one way that this is the way to learn, but also there is a lot, I don't think the format is there yet. There is a lot of companies like Masterclass and all these companies that they do this. For example, you can watch 10 videos in a row, and I'm not sure if the format of the university online is there yet. It's like,
I don't like masterclass and that stuff because you don't have coaching, right? Like courses are fine. Like I have courses, okay? Just like masterclass. But
interesting.
Most people who watch a course, what do? Nothing, usually.
Okay.
Like, because most people, they might buy the course. Like I know, I've sold courses and lots of people never watch it because I can see. And I'm like, how do you spend all this money on a course and you don't even watch it?
Yeah, crazy.
It's crazy. But when you have coaching with a course and with training and, you buy in and you're saying, hey, for a year, we're going to coach you and help you and get you motivated and help you through problems that you're going to have.
And give you the right
that's
environment. And
that's what
right
you need.
friends.
I don't think that, and network,
That's probably the biggest thing that you get out of this thing. Like, as I understood, the community, for example, my friend Eric has a creator now which teaches about YouTubers how to become a YouTuber. And I found that there is not the lessons that he teach, is the community that they share. Like, in my country, there is nobody that knows YouTube like in this level. Like, it's 1 million population. It's like I didn't have the people to do that. So I have to do that or online or go and find them. So you find another 300 people around the world that they're crazy like you. And like you share, what about this thumbnail? Is it good? Roast my video. And like that's a lot more valuable than anything that you can tell them.
More valuable in college, And that's why I'm saying that's the future. And I agree. Like my community at Future Flipper is great. We have, I want to say 800 active students, we've had thousands, but active. And, our event's going to have 600 people there. When do you get to go hang out with 600 people that are just like you, motivated?
Yeah.
That's
and
the best
I think
part.
That's beautiful when you bring all those people together. It's like probably is something I'm looking a lot about impact, and I want to ask all the biggest people in the world. When I meet Elon Musk, I will ask him like how I can maximize the impact to do the good in the world. And I think this thing, like bringing people together for an event, is one of the highest quality things that you can have for impact. Because when I go to Vid Summit or other videos about YouTube, Nas Daily did one thing, and he invited me to be a speaker in Dubai, and it's like you meet your people, the other YouTubers, like it feels so good. Like you learn from them, relationships and all that stuff. I think that's very high quality giving.
I agree.
To those people.
Yes, I agree.
So you started. I want you to talk to me about the future of real estate with NFTs. That you did something recently. Tykes. Yes, and like explain me like what do you think is the future of real estate with NFTs and maybe without NFTs, with crypto and all this stuff? How do you see the future real estate evolving in these things?
Yeah, you asked me how I would see myself becoming a billionaire, and I think it's through something like this with technology. I don't think it has to be Tykes itself. Tykes is another community. It's for people that believe that real estate and crypto are going to go together in the future because there's no other community that has that, right? So I built it. And, with Tykes, it's essentially education. We have trainings teaching the real estate people about crypto. We have education teaching the crypto people about real estate so that we can combine our ideas to create the businesses of the future. So that's the main premise of Tykes.
I didn't fully understand what exactly Tykes, like how much is it to buy one? Like how much is it, like what's the value that they get?
Yeah, okay. So with Tykes, okay, well actually let me step back and say real estate and crypto, right? Why I started this. So real estate and crypto, I think, are going to go hand in hand. I think the blockchain is going to change real estate.
Interesting.
Just with how we sell properties, I think people will sell properties on the blockchain in the future.
Why is that?
Because it's so much easier, it's cheaper, it's more efficient, it's just better.
It happens already or no?
It happens in a weird way.
In what way?
So, right now, if you tried to sell me your house, okay, we would go into contract. A title company would handle all of the documents and all this stuff. And then, 30 days from now, we would probably close and the title company would take all the money. They would charge a lot of fees.
Shit. So it removes all that.
It removes all that because I could just transfer to you directly today.
And whatever blockchain, Bitcoin, Ethereum.
I don't know what it's going to end up being on, but it's going to happen.
Okay.
And, like in real estate, you can't sell a house on the weekend. You can't sell it after the bank closes.
Interesting.
All those things change with the blockchain.
So it removes a lot of friction.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be huge no matter what.
And how many years in the future you see this adapting? And because there is going to be a lot of regulation about this thing.
Yeah.
There is going to be a lot.
If I had to guess, I think anywhere from 5 to 10 years. I think that's when it will be like normal. I think in the next couple of years, you're going to start to see companies and all these things pop up that are going to do it. And like some people will do it, but like full on, maybe 10 years, like it'll be fully how we do it.
Interesting. So can you, because I am familiar with it, but a lot of people that they're watching probably are not familiar with what NFTs are and what also blockchain is. So just give an explanation. Why? Because you're saying, this will remove friction and all these things, but people don't understand the exact reason why this is huge. So if you can take 30 seconds, 40 seconds to explain to people.
Yeah, so I guess with the blockchain, starting with that, it's just basically like a public ledger is what they call it of transactions, right? So right now, if I was to send you money, it would be private. Our banks would communicate. My bank would tell your bank, hey, Ryan sent Fidias $100. And so they would take 100 out of my bank on the ledger and add 100 to your bank on that ledger. That's how it works.
So no money is being transferred, nothing. It's just numbers.
Numbers changing. Yep.
Interesting.
And then, they don't give them cash. It's just numbers changing.
Yeah.
So the blockchain eliminates the banks because with the blockchain, I can send Fidias $100 now without any banks, without anyone approving it. Him and I are the ones that do it. And that's why it's so important because there's no restrictions. Nobody can, because you don't control your money. If your money's in the bank can shut your account tomorrow and they're holding your money. But with the blockchain, you are in complete control. Nobody can take it from you. You have it. You get to decide when you want to send it. You don't have to wait for bank hours to open or close. Bank's not open on Sunday. So the blockchain is going to be so much more efficient and quick. And it's cheaper. I can send Fidias, $100,000 for 50 cents. If I send Fidias a wire for $100,000, it's $30, and it takes a long time. So blockchain is definitely the future of how we transact money.
Also, another important thing is decentralization. That there is nobody controlling it. It's
that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
speed, efficiency, it's cheaper. Decentralized. It's great.
NFTs now?
So NFTs are kind of like the first big application of using blockchain. And so, when most people look at an NFT, they think it's just a picture and you're buying art or something.
And you paid for your NFTs $240,000 for your art.
I did. I paid a lot of money for the art.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but what an NFT really is like a receipt. It is a receipt of all these things that you're going to get when purchasing. And so that can be any NFT, right? Like I could give you an NFT for, a ticket for my upcoming event, right? You have that ticket now. You can go use it whenever you want. I could give you an NFT that says, hey, you have a ticket to my event for the next 5 years, And the beauty is because you have ownership of that ticket and everything else, you could go sell it to somebody else. You could transfer it immediately. You have ownership.
So you are going to evolve probably in the future to be doing similar stuff that Gary Vee is doing in the social media space, but on the real estate market with events and all this stuff. Tell me what.
I mean, we already do it. We have an event in 2 weeks. We're going to do one for Tykes too.
So the event is not for Tykes yet that you have in 2 weeks, but it's going to be for
Tykes is going to have an event here in a couple of months.
Interesting. So what type, the people that they own the NFT, they get probably the networking, they get the mentorship, they get the knowledge to do it, they get...
Yep. So, they're getting all that, obviously, but we have different levels of tykes too. So if you have one tyke, you're at the low level. If you have 5, you're at the second level. If you have 20, you're at the top level.
That's interesting. That's why it sold $2.5 million. If it was only one, it was going to be a lot lower people that bought it.
Yeah.
But
other people would buy it because they think it's going to go up.
I know, but if it didn't have that spin on it of the
tiers,
yeah, someone can. So that's kind of a cheat code.
Yeah. So think about the top tier, the boardroom. If you have 20, those people are going to get.
How much is it to buy one?
Well, when we pre-sold, it was $500 per tyke. Today they sell at $4,000.
Interesting.
So they've gone up a lot.
That's cool.
That's the market.
And that was recently that happened.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, interesting.
Yep. So, Tykes has been successful. But
it feels good. I launched an NFT as well with my YouTube course, and it didn't went very well because I don't have a strong audience to back it. And it was just I sell a course and you buy it with NFT, and it was interesting. And now you are describing, probably feels good that you gave a big ROI to the people that believed in you.
Well, and the thing is, they're not even selling. They're holding because they believe in everything they're going to get with Tykes in the future. They don't care about flipping them and making money. So, like the boardroom, right? They have 20. I mean, their Tykes are worth like $100,000 for all of them. But they're going to get access to me, and we're going to talk about where we want to take Tykes together as a boardroom, because these are high-level people. They own a lot of Tykes, right? And we're also creating something called...
So they paid $20,000 to get to be on the boardroom.
Well, it depends when they bought their Tyke. A lot of the people had to buy when it was already $3,000-$4,000.
Oh, okay.
Like they've paid a lot. So with the boardroom...
How many you released? How many Tykes?
5,000.
5,000.
Yeah. So with the boardroom, we have something called Tyke Tank. It's like Shark Tank. Okay. So the Tykes community can tell us, hey, here's an idea we have. Here's a real estate deal. Here's a business we want to start. And the Tykes community will then, look at it, see if it's something that's good. If it's good, they'll send it to the boardroom. And we as the boardroom will look at it and say, hey, do we want to invest in this guy's business and help grow it because of, whatever? And then we own now a piece of business as the boardroom.
So you see yourself doing a lot more stuff in this space of NFTs in the future.
Yes.
And
I'm going to get these businesses from Tykes, from the people in Tykes. We're going to start businesses together.
Interesting.
So that's one thing. The other thing is we're creating a marketplace for Tykes. And so I don't want to make it too confusing, but basically...
You understood that I'm stupid. That's good.
Yeah, the marketplace is good.
No, I said you understood that I'm stupid. That's good. I want simple stuff.
I got to explain it very simply. So your Tyke, okay, if you stake it, do you know what staking is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so staking would be like a bond, if you know what a bond is in America, where, hey, you put money, you lock it up, you give it to somebody else, and then they pay you interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you stake your Tyke, you lock it up, you're not going to sell it, you're not going to do anything, you'll get Tycoin. It's our cryptocurrency. So they get this coin for locking their Tyke up.
Okay. So it went a lot of thought into before.
Oh, a lot of thought. There was it was a year of work to prepare for this. Okay. So they're going to get a cryptocurrency and they can use it on the marketplace that we've created. And so the marketplace is going to have products and services from Tykes. It's going to have products and services from me in my different companies. And then our Tykes community can post their own products and services. So if you had a Tyke, you said you have a YouTube course, you could put your YouTube course on the marketplace. And now all these people are seeing it and they're saying, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. And they would buy your course with Tycoin, and you would get paid in Tycoin. You don't have to do anything. It's just, you get to list on our marketplace.
Okay, that's just the beginning thing that will help. The coin is just the starting. That's only one small thing that will help it go. So I assume that you're going to make a lot of things around the coin, and at one point probably all the people that will send you money or the real estate stuff will be happening with that coin.
There's a lot that we can do with the coin. Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. So it's the coin is very important.
So you seem master of building companies around real estate and your brand. And I asked you before this question, and like, what do you think on me not converting? And like, I want to build businesses. I also want to find the right stuff to start. I also want like how I convert better with the audience, like with my videos that I do. Like, is it just because I'm in the entertainment and it's like hard? It's like, can you give, what was your experience? Because I assume you didn't convert to real estate and know everything from day one. It took you like, and what is that relationship building? Is like, what is that? Tell me about these things.
Okay. So I think there's two things. One is obviously your style of content is entertainment, like you said. So with entertainment, people don't necessarily want to invest with you or give you a lot of money because they just want to watch you for entertainment. Whereas when it's educational, people are like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, I would give him money, right? So I think your style of content, you would have to prove that if somebody's going to spend money with you, it's something that they're going to actually get value of and that's relatable to them. Because your audience, I don't know how many of them want to be YouTubers, right? They might just like watch. I like watching you because you're funny and you're entertaining, but maybe 99% just wants to do that. They don't want to learn how to do what you do, right? So what most entertainers do is they start Patreons and private groups that give them more funny, entertaining stuff. That's like one way they do it. For me, people watch me to learn. They want to learn. They want to invest in real estate. They want to start businesses. And so if I have a product that teaches them exactly how to do that, they're going to buy. So my audience is way higher converting because I'm giving them exactly what they came for. So it's different. Whereas if I go to you and I just come for entertainment, I don't really want to buy anything. I just want to watch you be funny. So you have to think from their perspective, what could I sell them that they actually would want to buy and why they came to my channel in the first place? So that would be number one. Number two.
Interesting.
Number two would be, figuring out what path you really want to go on. Do you want to do entertainment forever, right? You can do it, right? Look at the Paul brothers, right? Logan Paul and Jake Paul. They're entertainers. Nobody's watching them to learn from them, and they make a lot of money doing entertainment. Mm-hmm. Mr. Beast is an entertainer. He's not, people aren't buying Mr. Beast education and stuff. So like, I think you can still make a ton of money as an entertainer, but you have to know what they want.
Interesting. Yeah. I think that's important. Also self-awareness on what spaces you want to tap into, what stuff you like.
People, and by the way, people don't like me doing entertainment. I've done like whatever. And they're like, dude, no, I'm not watching you do that. Like, I want to hear what you have to say.
Interesting. My friend, you can improve a lot your YouTube videos. I was telling you.
I know.
It's like you on the short form, you're killing it, but on YouTube, you can't. It's like you have the social, you have the camera present, you have everything, but it's just small tweaks of the. On your thumbnails are okay, the concepts are okay. You just need a lot more structure for retention, for people to stay watch the whole thing. And if that is like, you can be pulling the same views like Graham Stefan, 200,000, 300,000 every video, and it's like,
all right, after this I want to hear, we're going to have a consultation with my team.
I told you before that we're going to do this. So I want to ask about the networking. And because I told you I'm not very good at networking, like what is some stuff that also in there that you found? You said you started going in the events and stuff, but now it's not like, is you building the events and people, like how do you network at this high level when you have already a brand? Like, is it the podcast the way that you network? Is it like, what is the ways that you network at this level now?
Yeah, I think that's great. One is definitely the podcast, because I get a lot of great guests that come on my show, and so I get to build relationships and network with them on my show. So that's great. Two is like, I still go to events. Like I said, I went to Grant Cardone's office and met a lot of great people. So I try to go to high level events, with other high-level people too, that are very exclusive. I got to pay a lot of money probably to go to the event, but I know it's worth it. the third way,
like masterminds or something
yep,
like
masterminds.
that you pay to be in, like
yes,
how that works. Like
I'm in a lot of masterminds that I pay $30,000-$50,000 a year to be a part of.
okay, and it's like you go guys meet in a room and talk, like, or you go golf,
Both, anything. It can be just in, like a room and for a whole day and we all just talk. It could be, well, okay, so here's the deal. With all these events I go to, there's always like the main day where there's like, it's business, it's teaching, it's all these things. And then there's always after the event, the after parties, the dinners, the bar, the golf. And that's where you really get to build relationships too.
Yeah. So, okay, you said your podcast, going
Events.
to events.
Third one for me is just being known. Like I get a lot of people who reach out to me, right?
Like me.
Yeah, you reach out and I say, great, like let's build a relationship and see how we can help each other. Can I help you build your business? You know a lot of people. Can you introduce me to Mr. Beast? Can you introduce me to Eric? Like I don't know those people yet, but if I know you and you know them, then I'll get a chance to meet them if I give you value. That's what I do.
Yeah, interesting. So you understand the dynamic of giving value because I think like a lot. I ask you to do 2-3 things for me so far. I ask you to participate in one of my videos. I ask you, and you always do it without you asking anything. It's just, I think this is kind of the secret of you. Just I'm going to try to help as much as I can, and it's like there for sure. Even if they don't give me anything in the future,
I'm not expecting anything. But if one day I realize I'm like, crap, dude, I need to interview Eric. The first person I hit up is you. I'm gonna say, hey, can you set me up with Eric? And I really want to get him on the show. And you would probably do it because of, I've helped you.
Yeah, I understand. So I want to ask, go back a bit to the real estate thing and ask you about like when a financial crisis happen, like a market crash or all these things. How does this space look like? Like houses are losing their value immediately, like your net worth is going like this, like how it works. And like
real estate is slow. It's not like stocks and crypto, right? For this year, stocks and crypto just been getting crushed, but real estate's been like this year. Real estate's been going up.
So it's not a market crash happens in stock.
No,
market crash happens in real estate. It's like
they're different. And stocks and crypto happen fast. Like, crypto falls overnight, right? Real estate, people can't sell their house that fast. It takes time to sell a house, and that's why it's slow. So right now, what we've seen this year is it was going up really fast, and then now it's slow, and we might start to see it going down, but it's not going to ever go.
And how is going down? What down means?
Down could be very small. It could be 1%, It could
like
be
the value of the houses go down 1%. It's not like the rent is going down. It's not like
rents are still very high.
So when a housing market crash happens, rents are not going down.
I mean, it just depends, right? Because the last housing market crash was in 2008, and that was the worst crash ever in history. But if you look at the other crashes in the last 30 years, they weren't bad. They was pretty steady. Wasn't anything crazy.
So the reason that this happens is slow is because people cannot sell their houses fast enough. But what is is just pricing, or for pricing to show people have to sell their houses. Why this is slow to show? I don't understand. I don't get this.
Because with stocks and crypto, you could sell right now. Right? And the price drops. So if we all sell...
So the price is determined by supply and demand.
Yes.
So because supply and demand can be slow, you're going to see slow the results.
Yeah, because if you want to sell your house today, you can't sell it today. You would list it. You got to spend a week getting a realtor. You get pictures, you list it, you fix it up a little bit. Then it goes on the market. You're waiting for an offer. You finally get an offer. It takes 30 days for them to get a loan. It takes, it might take you 4 months before you finally sell your home. That's a long time to start tanking. You can't tank the market right away. It just can't.
Okay, so a market crash is not really. So when there is a market crash, I cannot buy houses as easy as possible, or I can buy more houses.
So here's the problem: is for the last bunch of years, people have said, "Oh, the market is too hot. I don't want to buy. It's too competitive. It's going to crash." Right? So for the last 2 years, price has just been going up and up and up, and all those people missed. Right?
That's why Ray Dalio say never try to time the market.
You can't time it, right?
And Warren Buffett the same.
But here's the deal, right? As now that it's slow and you can get a good deal because it's slow, people are scared because they say, "Oh, it's going to crash and go lower." This is what I guess poor people always think because they're only thinking about buying one house, and so they're like trying to time it when in reality, you can't time it if you have no experience. Like you have,
and even if you have experience, and the people
we don't know.
Yeah.
But what I do know is, as an investor, okay, if the market is slow right now, I need to get a better deal. I can't just get like a.
So when the market is slow, you're trying to find more unique deals because there's more
risk
to sell.
There's more risk, and it could go down. So I need to get a deeper discount. But if the market's hot and it's going up, I don't need as good of a deal because I know things are moving up.
That's interesting. How is do you know about the real estate, let's say in China, in different countries, or
I'm not worried about them.
Did you try to do real estate in different countries? It's like
no. I've looked at real estate
because
in different countries.
You can get a lot cheaper deals. Let's say in my country, you can get $40,000 apartment, like a very good apartment.
You could buy a super nice beach house in Mexico or Dominican Republic, and and it's really nice. So yeah, I think those are great.
Yeah. So you think about this? You think about tapping into these markets to do business? What do you think?
I wouldn't personally.
Do you know about this?
Yeah, I know about it. I wouldn't do it as like trying to make money. I would do it because I want a vacation house. I go buy a $1 million home in Mexico that's super, super nice. That's for me to go just kind of live in for maybe, a couple of months out of the year.
Okay, interesting. Now, with a closing question, what advice do you have for me and for young people at my age? We're 22. We're searching for answers. Like you've been very successful in what you do, and like what advice do you have for young people like me out there? So
for you specifically, you've been very, very successful with YouTube. Okay, and you're learning the business side now of how to monetize your views. The biggest problem I have with most YouTubers, and this is every YouTuber, it includes Graham Stephan, who you just interviewed, all of them, is that they don't know how to monetize their eyeballs. They make money off sponsors and AdSense. And I'm like, you need to own your own business. That will make you way more money than anything else. I make like, my AdSense is like $10,000. It's not anything crazy. My businesses make me way more than that. So you need to figure out, how can I get a good business that my audience would want to buy from? It's what they would be looking for with watching me. And the beauty is you don't have to be the one to do it. You just need someone like me who's good at business to help you create it, and then partner up. Have somebody, whatever. Like, what do you think Mr. Beast does? He has his company with him. Mr. Beast is not the business guy. Mr. Beast is the entertainer. He's the YouTuber.
Just focus on making videos.
Yep. And he has his business team making Beast burgers and everything else. So you need that. You need somebody who's really skilled at business, who can help you start a business for your eyeballs. That's number one for you. Now, for your audience, okay, they don't get, millions of views on videos. So I would tell them, basically what we were talking about earlier with college and other.
Before you say the answer, because because I don't want them to leave, guys, don't leave. So I want to ask you very quickly before you answer towards the advice for young people. Tell me a bit about being stressed in life, because you have a lot of problems. We were talking before, like you were like having It's like, how do you handle it? How is handling also a relationship with your wife like this, and like a lot of things you're doing, you have a lot of business, how you handle the stress and on this moment, and also maintain a good relationship with your wife and all this balance. And you have kids as well. So
3-year-old, 2-year-old, been married 9 years. This is why actually I created The Wealthy Way, which is here on the cup, and it's the name of my podcast. And
which is the studio here, and thank you for letting
thank
me
you.
use it.
And I'm writing a book for it and everything, because I am passionate about entrepreneurs and business people having a fully wealthy life, not just making money, right? You need to be able to have good health, good family, friend relationships, faith. You need to have everything, in line. And that's my message. Like, I take all aspects of my life very seriously. It's not all about just making money. And I think that that's what helps me get through the problems, is that, okay, if something bad happens in business, I'm still healthy. I'm still walking around. I get to go have fun. I have a family. My faith in God is good. If only I was only caring about business, then it would be bad. And that's what a lot of people do, is like, oh, this is all I have going on. If business sucks, then my life sucks. And YouTubers are no different. You would know, like, if you spend all this time on a video and it tanks, you're like, my life sucks. And it's like, no, that's not true. Your life is totally fine. And so that's what keeps me level-headed.
So you're describing that you pay attention to all the parts. It's not like on one part that you're trying to, you put your effort. You put effort in your relationship, you put effort in your faith, and you put effort in all this part, and you're trying to lift everything up.
Yes.
Like you do the 6 businesses, is like relationship with my children, relationship with my wife, mental health, exercise.
Yep, 100%.
Okay, and we can continue with the question of advice to the young people out there, but touch a bit on what role played God in your life, because I met you and you're going to church and you're doing all these things. Also, my father is a priest.
Okay.
And I'm familiar with also the church, and I grew up with being in church and stuff. And I'm curious to hear what's your thoughts on this and how it affected you.
Yeah, so I'm Christian. And for me, man, I know that God has taken me through a lot of different things in my life. I thought that I was going to be a Major League Baseball player. Like, that was the career I thought I was going to have. And eventually, God showed me all these things I never wanted, and they ended up being so much more than I ever thought. I told you I didn't want to be a realtor, right? I hated real estate. And all of a sudden now I teach people how to do real estate. I never liked YouTube or TikTok. I didn't want to be a video guy. That's not my personality. I liked running businesses, but all of a sudden, it takes off. God pushes me to do it, and it's successful. And, NFTs, I'm not a crypto guy.
What do you mean God pushes you to do it?
Essentially, with everything that I've really done in my life successfully, I didn't want to do it. Like, it was just like an opportunity that I knew God was calling me to do. Either somebody inspired me to do it, or I felt, the Holy Spirit pushing me to go do it. And I was like, you know what? I don't know where this is going to go, how it's going to play out, but I'm just going to be obedient and do it. And then sure enough, it ends up being far bigger than I could have ever imagined.
So you think there is, like, how do you imagine? How do you feel? You think there is God above watching? There is this energy? How does it work? It's like exactly what the Bible is saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I believe everything that the Bible says to a T. And that's the only thing I go on. I don't worry about what YouTube pastors say or other religions. I just fully believe what the Bible says, and that Jesus came on this earth 2,000 years ago. He died for our sins, and that, there is heaven and hell. And that at the end of the day, what we do on this earth does not compare to what's after this. You think about like how much time we spend on the earth compared to eternity. It's like that. And so what should we really be working for? Is it, making money today and like having a big YouTube channel and all this? Like, it's important to use the resources that God's given you.
You find this interesting because you put perspective in your life to understand that this stuff that you have is temporary. And
this phone call I just get that's a problem it's so small in eternity. So why am I going to stress about it and worry about it?
You were always like that with the religion? Like you grew up like this, or you had your phases of...
You know, I grew up in the church like you did. I grew up in Christian church. You know, I got baptized when I was 18. I've always been, you know, trying to follow God and be a better Christian. And, you know,
your parents teach you all
Yep,
this stuff?
my parents, my grandparents. You know, my wife, we're very, you know, devoted to, you know, our faith. And I think over time, my faith continues to grow as I just become more obedient to what God wants me to do, you know, and that's part of it too with why I think, I guess my channel and things have been successful is because not many people are talking about this, right? Like in business, a lot of people think talking about your faith will hurt your business. People will not want to watch you. People will, you know, you shouldn't get political and religious. And it's like, no, you know, I'm going to show people who I am. And if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But, you know, I know that I can change lives by telling them what I believe.
And you found it very important that your wife shares the same beliefs like you, and she's in the same way that you believe. Because if she was, let's say, whatever, Muslim or something different, you think it was going to be conflict there, especially with your devotion to...
Yeah. When you see that is, you know, if you're both very devoted to what you believe, I just don't see how that coexist personally. You see it coexist when people are very, I don't want to say weak in their faith, but they don't take it serious, right? Oh, he's, like you said, Muslim, but he don't really care. She's Christian, she don't really care, whatever, right? But if you're both very devoted to your faith and you believe it, you could not really live with a person and not, like, if you love them, like share the truth with them and really try to get them to understand. So it'd be very difficult.
Interesting. And now to the advice of the young people out there that they are watching. I love you, everyone that is watching. That was some inspiring words that you said in the last words. I love you guys. And I love everybody in this world. It's very interesting world that we're living. But yeah, go ahead. And we're going to close immediately. By the way, subscribe, guys, to our YouTube podcast channel. Subscribe to Ryan Pineda after we finish. And now we're going to end it with your answer to what's the advice for the people. There is a lot of pressure on you now.
I know. And then I already know how you YouTubers do it. You just end the video right there. Keep that watch time up. So I would say advice-wise, you know, I gave you your advice specifically, but for those who are young, trying to figure it out, I really believe, you know, you don't need to listen to kind of what your parents or other people are trying to force you to do. You know, they're saying, go to college, do this, do that. Like, find what you're passionate about, okay? Pursue doing that first and foremost, right? Like, I was passionate about baseball. I pursued it. I wasn't making a lot of money as a minor leaguer, but I would never trade that for the world. You were passionate about making videos. You did it. It worked out. Fantastic. I'm glad it worked out for you. My passion didn't work out for me, but it was still good, and it made me who I am today. You don't ever want to go through life saying, man, I wish I would have tried that when I was younger, because you can always get into business or a career later on. So I would say if you're young, pursue your passion. And if you want to be excellent at it, go get into a coaching program or a mentorship or somebody who's doing it the way you want to do it. You know, you want to learn real estate? Join my mentorship. You want to learn YouTube? Join Fidias's program. Join Eric's program. But don't try to figure it out on your own because you don't want to spend money or anything. Like, you need to get around the community that we've been talking about. You need to get the blueprint from the experts. That's why I want to pick Fidias's brain after this and say, man, how can I improve my YouTube channel? I'm always learning. I always want to get around experts who have done it better than I have. And so that's the key.
I love you. Thank you for doing this.
Love you too, man.